Welcome to Keep Your Head Up Hockey. I'm your host, Jamie Young. We got Dylan Jose in the house as well. How's it going, folks? Just a quick shout out to Core 4. You guys are the best. Thanks so much for being the greatest Leaf group out there and supporting us on a weekly basis with our pregame shows. Big game tonight. We've got Detroit in the house. Detroit Red Wings playing in Toronto. Should be a good game. 3 games left. And Matthews on the hunt for 70. 2 more to go. So pretty exciting. Dylan, how you doing, brother?
Fantastic, man. I'm excited. I'm energized. I put the cart before the horse a little bit. Started my playoff beard a little early. I think I'm just going to let her grow, buddy. I'm just going to let her grow until the Leafs lose and shave it all off. We'll see.
They're not going to lose. Enough of that.
Work out too well, but... no, it's probably more of a symptom of been so busy with life and everything else that goes on, but whatever. I'm gonna roll with it and see how big it gets. And if the Leafs can push us into the deep rounds of the playoffs here, I'm excited for that. Not so much for this game, but I am excited for a couple things which we're going to talk about, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. So do you know, Dylan, that Detroit and Toronto have played 682 games? That's like, a big rivalry, kind of original 6 teams, right? Like kind of like the Habs, like crazy. Like the Leafs got 300.
They don't really celebrate those milestones. It's not like this is the 700th game. This is the 1000th game. What a thing for the NHL to do. Be like, this is the 1000th game that these teams have played. Like, obviously, it hasn't happened yet, but getting close to that 1000 game marker is pretty amazing.
Crazy stat. But this year, it's 1-1 with matchups against Detroit. We beat them in November, 3-2, but then Detroit beat us 4-2 last time. It was in January that they beat us. So last game tonight, see who wins the season matchup. I think the Leafs should win. We're kind of on a roll. We're playing really well.
So we only played 3. We're only playing 3.
Three games against Detroit this year. So but it's gonna be interesting tonight. Like I think the Leafs the last 5 games we're 3-2. We're playing decent. And those games that we've lost, I don't know. I thought that we kind of gave up the New Jersey game a couple nights ago. Like we were right in it, 6-5, and Sammy with letting in 6 goals and 20 shots. Like that's kind of out of character of him, and lately anyway, and a little bit upsetting. But it was a game that didn't matter, right? But we're trying to get on that playoff kind of style of play, and I felt like we dropped the ball. We dropped the puck a lot and giving the puck up for no reason, and not getting the puck out of our zone on a timely basis, and just too much traffic in front of our net. Sammy can't see the puck, he's not going to be able to stop it, right? So
Sammy's been playing awesome, lights out goaltending. So you can't blame him for any of that.
Agreed.
It's one of those games that makes Leaf fans nervous when that kind of stuff happens. We're in it. We're out of it. It's fun to watch. It was exciting. 11 goals? What a fun little game to watch. But at the same time, you got to be nervous about what's going on defensively. And TJ Brutal, I almost called him by accident, but honestly, he's struggling, man. Gripping the stick too tough. He's afraid to go in the corners. He's good offensively, but we need shutdown guys, especially in the playoffs. So I could see him easily being the odd man out, and he had a chance against a team like New Jersey, and he got worked. Like he's slow, like Giordano's slow, but he just seems he's smarter and he's bigger and he's stronger, right? He's tough. Like I don't know if I've ever seen TJ Brody in a scrum. He doesn't get mean, clearing guys in front of the net. I just don't see it. Like I don't even hear about it in the games.
Yeah, I hear you. And
is he playing tonight?
I'm not. I couldn't find the projected lineups, and I looked everywhere for 45 minutes. So they're obviously
Core 4. What are you doing? You usually post that lineup.
Guys,
let's go, guys.
Yeah, no, couldn't find it. Looked at Core 4 as well, and wasn't posted yet. So as about a half an hour ago, I just couldn't find it, and I was looking all morning. So don't really know exactly what the projected lineups are for tonight. But I hope that Evanson's back, because then we can drop Brody, and put him in. I think he's a way better fit than he is. They've got to figure out what our best 6 defensemen are and start playing those guys for the last 3 games, because we've got to get in the swing of things. We really, really do. It's frustrating for sure. Let's maybe talk about the injury report while we're talking about players. We've got Muzzin. Oh, Muzzin. Out for
Is he on the list?
Yeah, he is out for season. It's what it says. Janrock Hand, he's out, and then Liljegren still upper body. He's out as well. Those are basically the 2 guys that are out for the Leafs right now. So I'm hoping that Edmondson will play tonight. I really like how he plays, and like I mentioned, we've got a lot of traffic in front of our net last game, and we got to work on that. And he plays it the best, man. He grabs that 2x4 and just in the back, anybody standing in front. And I think he's the best defenseman for clearing the net or traffic in front of the net. Does a great job with it. So I hope he's playing tonight. Get him back to this way of things. He's huge. He's a big guy. Likes to throw the weight around. I really want him back in the lineup. As for the wings, we've got Kopp. He's got it says cheek. I wonder if it's his butt cheek or if it's his actual cheek. And it says questionable. And then we've got
Rasmussen. Oh, his cheek hurts?
It says cheek. It says
what was he eating some grapes or something and bit the inside of his mouth?
I have no idea, but I thought that was hilarious. So I wanted to bring that up.
A puck to the cheek. Usually they aren't that specific. It's mostly like upper body, lower body,
cheek.
Whatever.
It literally is what it says.
Above the shoulders.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. But it looks like everybody's healing up, and we're gonna get most of the guys back. I hope Robertson plays tonight. I think that he's playing fantastic. He's in the right spot all the time, and he's been playing really, really good. And I hope that he continues that way, because I think it's either right now it's like, does he make the starting lineup or does he not? And right now I'm on board with let's play him in the playoffs.
How does he not get in this lineup at this point?
Yeah, exactly.
He's done everything. I don't even see any defensive lapse in his game. And the skill is unbelievable. I mean, look, he's on a team that has a ton of skill already. So we're surplusing in skill on this team. So maybe it's not what the team needs. But, man, he's just a really good, smart, creative hockey player with amazing hands. That goal, it was called back the other night. He was offside. So maybe that's the part of his game he needs to work on. Watch the offsides, but it's not Pee-wees anymore. But at the same time, that move that he made, most guys would just freeze up and shoot that puck and hit the goalie right in the chest. He goes forehand, backhand, or no, does he? Is he? Yeah, he goes forehand. He's a lefty, so he goes forehand, backhand, net. Like, come nice. On, he brought it into traffic, into the sticks, and still made the move. His hands are so quick; it's hard to keep him out. And he's got to be on the second power play as well. Like I would have him. He's got to be on the second power play. Like why? That's why you have him in the lineup. You have him as a second power play, because when that first power play is not firing, and how many times this year has that first power play shat the bed?
Oh yeah,
and missed passes, missed pucks, and like our power play is so bad. Stats guy, how bad has our power play been since March 24th?
Really bad. But
last in the league, bro.
Yeah, oh, it's terrible. It's been terrible.
It's like 8%.
But it's crazy compared to the year 23.89, and that's the 8th place as of yesterday. That was our numbers. And yeah, I was looking at that too. Yeah, last in the league in the last 10 games, and that's running in the playoffs like that. We got to get that going here. And tonight, I think that this is a perfect team to practice our power play on. We got to get that first line firing, because if we get on a power play in the playoffs against Boston and Florida, we got to make them pay. And who better to make them pay is Matthews? He can put the puck in the net. So, but if he's
how many goals does he have?
68.
I lost track.
68, brother. 68, and he's going for 70.
Baby.
Let's more. Go. No question. Now, my personal opinion is that this is our last home game of the year. He's gonna do it tonight. He's gonna get 2 goals tonight. He's gonna get 70 at home. That's what I'm calling. Dylan, are you on board?
Let's go, baby. I'm calling it too. He gets 1 in an empty netter. Listen, this is going to be a tough battle tonight. So, and I don't know if the Leafs are really going to want to battle that hard against this team. Although, don't get me wrong, This is one of my fiercest rivals, the cross-border rival, the Windsor Bridge. Away you go into Detroit. These fans are hungry, passionate. I got a guy from high school that I know that just loves this team, bleeds this team, and boy, does he ever get upset when the Leafs beat the Detroit Red Wings, and I just love to rub it in. And I mean, they're not my most hated. They have such a good history. I don't hate them nearly as much as Boston or Montreal, but this is definitely a team that's going to be hungry for a win. Look at that Eastern Conference, Jamie.
Oh, Let's go. Tight. It's so tight. Yeah, it really
amazing.
Is.
Hey?
Yeah, pretty exciting.
Love to watch this battle down to the end. It looks like the Islanders are in.
Yeah, if we beat Detroit tonight, they're automatically in. That's one of the factors tonight. Is if we beat Detroit, they're automatically in. And then if Detroit loses any other game, they're automatically in.
How hilarious is that, Islanders fans? You're going to be cheering for Tavares tonight? Yep.
And they will be, truthfully, like Tavares scores, they'll be pumped. They'll be pumped.
Exactly.
It's so funny. Irony. You gotta love that.
Isn't it? Goes around, comes around, I guess, eh? All of a sudden, Tavares is your buddy. Watch Tavares get a couple tonight just to
wouldn't that be great?
Support his old team.
Great.
Wouldn't that be great?
One big thing too that the Leafs got to work on before heading to the playoffs, I think, man, is our penalty kill. We're 23rd in the league in our penalty kill. It's terrible.
I thought it got better.
No, 23rd in the league, 76.89%. So, 23% of the time, 1 out of every 5, we're getting scored on our penalty kill. And that's not fantastic numbers. It's not a good number running into the playoffs. We've got to do better. Getting the puck out, a couple of times last night, I think, or the other night, Marner gave the puck away when he got the puck on a penalty kill in our zone. He gave the puck away rather than shooting the puck down the ice. Twice he did that. And I think that we've got to be better. Once we get that puck on a power play or a penalty kill, just dump the puck. Like there's no reason for trying to make a pass to get out of the zone to make, to go up the ice and score a goal. It's not time to score goals. Dump the puck down the fucking ice, period.
That's the consequence of having a team like this where they can make the extra move and it could be a game changer. But man, are you on the edge of your seat? Are you shaking in your boots when they do that stuff? Because it can easily go in the back of your net. And it's a momentum sucker, especially with this team. But they seem to be pretty resilient this year than previous years in terms of coming back from being behind. We talked about this in other shows. So even if they do get scored on and come down a couple goals, I'm not too worried about it. But they got to clean that up. For sure. I agree. And I didn't realize, I thought the power play was much better with Dewar in there. I've watched him play. He's a huge asset to that penalty kill, I should say. Huge asset to that penalty kill. But you're saying it's down in the dumps there.
It's not doing too well. And compared to the Wings, even the Wings are 13th on their penalty kill, so it just says a lot about our team. That's one of our weak our weak attributes is the penalty kill. We got to work on that. We only got 3 more games before the playoffs because you don't want to go down on a power or on a penalty kill and get scored on a couple times a night in the playoffs against a team like Boston and Florida, and they'll definitely make you pay. That's for sure. A little bit more comparisons, buddy. We'll talk about players. Raymond, their goal scorer for the Wings, just came off a hat trick last game, so he's doing all right. He's playing well. He's got 68 points and 29 goals.
Was that against Pittsburgh the other night?
Yeah, Pittsburgh got 3 goals. Yeah, hat trick.
And did they win that game? I can't remember. I was flipping through so many games. It was a close one.
Yeah, it was.
Did they win in OT? No, Detroit. Oh, Raymond won it in OT, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's what tied it all up. That's right. Yeah. He's a dynamic hockey player, a guy that's not necessarily a household name, but can put the puck in the net, and
he's leading the team. And then, of course, Austin Matthews, 106 points now, 68 goals, 38 assists. Question for you. Do you think that he's going to be the MVP of the year, even though, we've got the guy from Tampa Bay, I can't pronounce his name. Yeah. Yes. But Kucherov, 141 points now. Does Austin, if Austin gets to 70, does he win, the art, like the goal award, and as well as the MVP, or does Cooch get it?
I think it's going to be Cooch or the other guy over in Colorado, McKinnon. McKinnon. You watch his game. He is unbelievably fast. His feet, the way his feet work, he's picked up a lot of Sidney Crosby. Like his feet work is so quick. I just think they're going to give it to McKinnon over Kucherov, despite Kucherov's point production. I think Kucherov's had more of a luckier season. Like he's not he's a dynamic player too. I don't know. I'm definitely not going to go to Matthews. Even with
because a lot of people are saying that 70 goals, it's pretty hard to do so. If he gets to 70, is he truly the MVP of the year? And I'd argue that I think that you should give him that. You should get the Maurice Rocket Richard Trophy as well as the MVP trophy for the year. That's my thought. I really think that he's the most dynamic player in the league. And goals, mean the most, right? And when was the last time that somebody scored 70 goals? A long time ago. So it really shows how talented Matthews is. Yeah, he doesn't have 141 points, but he didn't need to.
I tend to agree with that, Jamie, 100%, because he's got the goal production. You've never seen that before. And here's the defining factor to me, to your argument, although I still think it's between Kucherov and McKinnon, but the defining factor is what puts him ahead of Kucherov is where his team is in the standings, right?
True. Yeah.
That should be a difference maker to me. I don't know. The guys who vote on this, the media guys or whatever, they have a tough task ahead of them, and it's going to be close. It's going to be really close. There's going to be so many Leaf haters in that group that just aren't going to vote for Austin Matthews because he's a Toronto Maple Leaf. And then you've got a bushel of Leaf lovers, right, from the Toronto media that are probably all in on that as well.
Very true.
So I guess time will tell, but who really cares who wins the MVP? It's about winning the Stanley Cup. And maybe that is a factor somehow, even though it's not supposed to be because it's based on the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
But it's possible that if Austin Matthews can push his team further in the playoffs, that might sway some of these fence-sitting voters to push Matthews into that number one MVP category. They'll be chanting it tonight, I'm sure, at the Scotiabank place. Let's hear it, fans, tonight.
Let's go.
Get behind our boy. Get him 70 and get him the MVP. Why not?
But since our core four group of the Leafs, I was up and down on this year, but I really think that this year is our best chance to go further in the playoffs that we've ever been since '93. I think that potentially we're knocking on the conference finals door right now. We really are. If we can play well, if we can play the game that when the Leafs are on fire and just going at all cylinders, if we can play like that for a 7-game series, I don't think anybody can beat us, especially if Samsonov is on his game and Matthews firing the puck. And then we've got, the extra lines with Marner and Tavares, that one going as well. And then we've got the Reeves line bumping and grinding. If all four lines can play and really show some passion on the ice, I don't know, man. It's going to be hard, but I have a.
You look at the playoffs, Jamie, and it is a grueling campaign. Probably the most grueling campaign in all of sports.
Yep.
Without a doubt. You can't even argue that. It's 7 games series, back-to-back games every night, fighting, hitting, bumping, skating at a high pace. There's guys that come out of that Stanley Cup final game with broken ribs, broken tibia, whatever, broken toes, broken injuries, banged up. Like they're on the mend for months after that. And you don't even know that happens. And the reason why I bring that up is because you're right. Your instinct is right, Jamie. Your feeling is right on this team this year is the fact that we have so much depth. We talked about Robertson. We've got other guys that are coming off injury, Yarncroc. Like there's so many slots to fill in on this team that if, and when it comes to the playoffs and injuries and the ability to put guys in and out of the lineup, depending on situations, you're looking at a strong vote of confidence for this team based on what they have on the depth chart versus other teams that are in the playoffs.
Yeah. We've got an army this year. We really do. We've got a full army of players that are willing to, go the whole way. And if it's a war, it's going to be a war against Boston and Florida. That's for sure. And really, I think whoever comes out of that series, is going to have some major momentum going into that second round. It's going to be a war. Whoever's playing the Leafs, because we're not going down without a huge fight, and it's going to be pretty exciting. So yeah, gotta get pumped. Only a couple games away. We've got Detroit tonight, and then we've got Florida the next game, and our last game is in Tampa. So we've got a couple of tough games coming up, but I think that the Florida game will be another good test for us as well. To kind of, if we're going to play them, well, let's show them what we're made of, and play hard and play tough. And I hope there's a few scraps, and just, get Reeves out there, and maybe Reeves and Bennett can scrap even before the playoffs start. That'd be nice. I'd love to see that, but got to bring it up now. Domi stepping in to,
speaking of scrappy.
Yeah. To step up for Matthews. Like, I just love that. Jumped in and did a great job. And boy, can he throw him like his old man. Like, he went to town. I just love it. So the uppercuts, man, that was just crazy. But the 10-minute instigator, like, come on. Like,
I didn't even realize there was a 10-minute instigator. I thought it was an extra 2. When did they? But 10, that's been like since like 2009 or something or whatever. Like that.
It's ridiculous.
It's been around for a while, and I haven't seen it called in a long time. But I guess he went after the guy. The guy basically turtled, so it's going to be the ref's call because he's going after a guy who doesn't really fight. And I guess Domi misread the situation because Matthews was holding his own and just kind of pushing off of him. And it was good to see Matthews doing that stuff too. We need to see that fight, that passion, that grittiness, that edge. And I think he's gained a bit of momentum from Domi, and Domi's gained a bit of skill from Matthews by being on the same line. You cannot break up this Matthews, Bertuzzi, and Domi line. Unbelievable mix of talent and hard work and grit. And these guys are just flowing off each other. And not only that, but Marner's back the other night, and he's on there with Nylander and Tavares. What a perfect blend. Honestly, it is the perfect blend because Marner he's so smart. He plays well defensively. Tavares can work the boards better than anybody else in the league. And then you've got a highly skilled Nylander, who I'm sure we're going to talk about now. Why not bring it up? Because he has been goalless and feeling the goalless drought. So perhaps he gets on the PK tonight and gets a shorty.
The guy's got to wake the fuck up. Like, I've been saying it all year, ever since we paid him. He had this amazing start leading the league in points, for this first, let's say, 20 games. And then we pay him. And then what happens? He's just gone. Just the effort's gone. The production's gone. I don't even think he really gives a shit at all. It's really pathetic to see. You'd think that, we give him that huge signing bonus and pay him, what he really truly deserved. You think that the effort would still be there, because the complete opposites happened with Matthews. We paid him, and look at what happens. Almost a 70 goal a year. But with Nylander, we pay him, and he's just ghosts us. He's just going through the motions, not skating hard. He always so lazy. I see, he won't skate both ways to the ice. Like, I get the puck, I'm going to skate as hard as I can down the offensive zone, but then I'll miss my shot, and I'll just go off because I'm tired. There's just no effort, and it's pathetic. I've had enough. Core 4 in the chat, tell me what you think of Nylander. Am I the only one? Because seriously, I'm getting fucking sick of it. Dylan, what do you think about Nylander's game, man?
I disagree, Jamie. I think he cares. I saw that interview about, they were asking him about the loss, and he was like, well, we lost the game. Yeah. Of course I'm pissed. Like, so I think he cares. I think the room is going to straighten him out if nothing else, especially with the veterans in there. There's enough talent in there that you can call out a guy like Nylander if he is, mailing it in on a few shifts a couple times. And the coach has sat him before. So Keith isn't afraid to sit this guy down if he thinks that he's not performing the way he is. I think he's one of these guys that knows he's a goal scorer and the pressure gets to him And that's not, which is, understandable, but also like we're coming in on playoffs here. You got to get over this pressure situation and become a hockey player that can handle that kind of pressure and change your game a little bit. If it's not working, bro, change it up, do something differently. And as the coach, as the support staff in that room, as his teammates, I'd just be like, hey man, just simplify your game, chip it up the boards, get in the corner. You got to adapt to whatever's going on and get a dirty one. Has he ever banged one in on the net? Has he ever gone in the front of the net and tipped no, so get a greasy one and get back on the skill train, and you'll be sniping top corners all day. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, he can't get highlight reel goals every single night. It's just not happening. Get one off the skate, off the ass. Austin Matthews does it all the time. He's got to stick in the right place. You got to do the right things, Nylander. That's when good things happen.
Yeah, for sure. A couple questions here. We already talked about Robertson, and also we talked about, Matthews and Marner. Obviously, they're not going to be playing together moving forward. I think that definitely the right decision is the Domi Bertuzzi mixed with Matthews, and then the Tavares and Nylander and Marner for sure. But does Marner play on the power play with Matthews or no? I think that they keep going with the hot hand and lead and separate them. I love the depth, but a lot of people are talking about that. Does Marner jump on the power play with Matthews? I'd say no.
I'm going to say yes. I think you need Marner on the power play with Matthews and Nylander and Domi. You put them on defense, and you put Riley, or I would say even put Liljegren back there, although he hasn't had, he's in and out of the lineup for defensive struggles, but he can score goals. So that's my call for power play one. PP1 is definitely Marner, Matthews, Nylander, and I think you put Domi or Bertuzzi, and then you put Bertuzzi and Robertson and Yarncroc and Tavares, right, on PP2. There's nothing like, it's a good problem to have with Keith, but he's got enough mix of talent that he needs to mix it up a little. Look at his power play numbers. Obviously, something's not right. He's not putting the right personnel on the ice. If the power play has been sucking big donkey, for the last,
it's been terrible,
right? 2 months. So, and everybody covers Matthews. Matthews says, I don't know why Matthews needs to go and study Alexander Ovechkin power play tape. Like, that guy is unbelievable. He never moves. He's in the same spot. Guys try to cover him, and he still gets it done. And Matthews seems to he's never in the right spot for that shot. He's never kind of open. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's scoring from weird angles and he's getting the puck in the net, obviously. But I just don't see it on the power play. Like, they're utilizing him properly. I don't know what it is, but it just seems discombobulated out there every time they're on the power play. And you've got so much talent. Mix it up a little and see what works. Find the chemistry.
Yeah, we got 3 more games. Let's mix it up, Keith. Let's try some new things and use these games to really get ready for that first round, because we're fast approaching it, Dylan. Right at 30 minutes here, so we'll let you go and get back to your Masters Saturday. The PGA Tour has got the big event, the Masters this weekend, and just around 17 degrees in Petitcodiac today. Nicest day of the year. Loving it. Gonna crack a beer and go sit on the front porch and enjoy the day. But wanted again to say a big thank you to Core 4. You guys are the best. I left it on the screen the whole show because we sincerely mean it. We are going to have a show this week. Don't know the exact day as of yet, but definitely want you to tune in. We're going to dive right in deep and talk about the Leafs and about their playoff hopes and what we're going to be doing differently in the playoffs. So please tune in this week to that show. But you've got here, please smash that like button. Share the show on your social media. While you're watching the game tonight, talk about Keep Your Head Up Hockey with somebody. We'd really appreciate you trying to grow this show. Really appreciate you. Any last thoughts here, Dylan?
Just excited for golf. You mentioned the golf, so I've been tuning into the Masters myself, and you got the nice weather. Hopefully it's coming this way to Ottawa, but it's been raining here for the last 3 days, but good for the greens. I can't wait to get out there for a little time on the links.
Yeah, I call it whack fuck.
Whack puck.
Yeah, whack puck. There we go. Hey, again, thanks so much for watching. As always, keep your head up. I'm Jamie. He's Dylan. Take care. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll see you this week. All the best. Take care.
Go Leafs, go.
Go Leafs, go.